Hello and welcome to Blank and Dinner. So this weekend I'm flying solo. Michael is off with a bit of a head cold. He's not feeling well. So this week I'm just doing a quick one just to update you on what's been going on and share some of my thoughts. So we've had a really eventful week for LGBT rights and equal marriage. German Parliament has finally voted in favour of legalising same-sex marriages in Germany. Woohoo! So this made possible by Angela Merkel removing the whip on her members of Parliament, allowing them to vote, as she said, with their conscience. Although the Chancellor herself voted against gay marriage, she had said that the reason for her decision, for this new position really, was because having met a lesbian couple who fosters children, she changed her mind on gay adoption. There's still a few challenges to be dealt with. The law must pass the upper chamber, which it is expected it will pass. Now, here is where we have the big problem. It is likely to face some challenges from opposers who might want to see the law go through to the Constitutional Court, which in the past has already defined marriage as being between a man and a woman. And there we have the slight problem. So whilst we are celebrating, we have to be a little bit cautious in that we might face a bit of a challenge there. Let's see what happens on that one. Hashtag heterosexual pride has been trending. So let's think this one through. We've got a group of people who've decided that they need heterosexual pride, and heterosexuals shouldn't be afraid to celebrate their heterosexuality. Now, the question I have is, what exactly are you celebrating? Let's break this down a little bit. I am just struggling to see what the whole concept is. What is the purpose of heterosexual pride? Are you just celebrating the fact that you've enjoyed the rights and privileges that you've enjoyed for ever since human beings have existed? The right to marry, the right to have children, the right to adopt, the right to be yourselves in public without fear of persecution or discrimination, because I'm not entirely sure what the purpose is. Now, if the argument is just that you've got gay pride and therefore you ought to then have an equivalent straight pride, let's just put it that way, an equivalent straight pride, then you clearly have no understanding of what exactly the purpose of gay pride is. It's not just an opportunity for people to get out and be fabulous and just have a lot of fun, although we do. But we have to remember where the roots of gay pride, stem from. This is a movement, a march that was the catalyst to a lot of the rights and privileges that gay people now enjoy today. So, in short, it really isn't a comparable concept. And I'm just struggling to understand what the point of it is. It's just another way to make themselves the victim of a circumstance of which they are not really victims. I'm not saying this about every straight person. I'm talking specifically about the group of people who are participating in this heterosexual pride and who see it as an actual, or who actually believe that it is a real thing, a necessary concept to have. Just not getting it. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is JayZ's album, 444. I haven't heard all of the album. I've heard one of the songs, which I thought is of particular interest, and I've just been reading a lot about it. So the track is called Smile. And in this album, he talks about his mother's sexuality, and really it's sort of a coming out sort of anthem for his mother, Gloria Carter, who's come out as lesbian. And the thing I find really interesting about it is that, he's come out in support of his mum. He's from a part of society, being in sort of the rap culture, within rap music, where, it's very macho, can be very anti-gay, very much sort of not accepting. And here you've got someone who is not naturally seen as an ally to LGBT, who's come out in support of his mother. And I just think it's wonderful. It's a very lovely track. I'm not a massive fan of rap music, but just in terms of the lyrics, and if you get a chance to at least sort of, look at the lyrics, read them, or listen to a preview of the track, I think you'll find it really interesting. I did, and she also features on the track and shares some of those very personal struggles, and I think it's relatable, and this is why I found it very interesting. And anyone who's gone through that process of having to think about how the repercussions of coming out, and how you're going to react, how people are going to react, and what that means for your loved ones or your family members. And it's I can imagine there are lots of people out there who are having these very same struggles, who can relate to this particular track. So definitely worth a look at, I think. Very interesting indeed. On a totally different note, apparently the track is in response to Beyonce's Lemonade track, which famously talks about infidelity within their relationship, and he's sort of responding to that and sort of apologizing and reflecting on his actions. So they say, personally, I'm sort of thinking that for a couple that's very private and don't really talk about their private lives in interviews, as you'll see other celebrities do, it would be very strange if they were genuinely airing their private life through their albums. And I kind of feel like this is all sort of part of a much bigger publicity stunt. Let's face it, it sells albums, and the Lemonade was hugely successful for Beyonce. The whole excitement that was created around whether JayZ was cheating or not, and what was happening within the Beehive, and all of that. The fight with Solange and JayZ in the elevator, featured on her song straight afterwards, and it's just all very convenient, in my opinion. Mind you, I do love Beyonce, I do like her music, so I'm not complaining too much. I don't buy the hype, and I leave it up to you to make your own decisions. So those are my thoughts for now, and I promise that we will have some really exciting videos coming up. I mentioned before that I've got some guests lined up, a couple of really interesting ones coming up for you. Just one last thing to share with you. I was rummaging through my phone, clearing out some old pictures, putting them on a hard drive, and I found a really cool picture of me at Pride from about 6 years ago, and I was holding Amnesty International placards, "Love is a human right, protect the human," and I just absolutely love that that slogan, and I thought I'd just share it with you. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. See you soon.